I really appreciate you joining me on the show. Your character was so iconic and special to me in season one. When the show, when the series was really coming into its own,
Yeah.
it was creating some of the more interesting characters, even one or two off characters like Harlan. This was a special character, you know, this early on in the series.
Oh, yeah, it was really interesting. It's interesting because I hadn't watched it. I mean, I can't believe 1997 it was. Holy smokes!
I know.
It was kind of special because I think up to that point it had been for sort of a serious kind of series to add a little comedy in it and something different, like they used to do that in Star Trek every once in a while, and they tried that with Harlan, and it just seemed to all come together, and we got to see that other side of all the guys there,
Absolutely. The show always proved to have legs and go in whatever direction that it wanted, depending on the episode. A more serious tone, a more philosophical. And this one was like, it was one of those where we had a perspective shift where we were watching this episode, and it's like we assume that it's our team, and it's not. And this kind of mad scientist android has absolutely thrown them all for a loop, and he doesn't understand that he's completely ripped them of their identities. He's like, why aren't you loving this? I love life. Why aren't you?
I know. It was a chance too, because there was basically Harlan and them the whole episode.
I know.
It was interesting. I imagine it must have been for them to write it. I'm sure for Brad and to actually, it was really, I looked at it again last night. I hadn't looked at it, and oh my God, since it first came out, and that was amazing. You're always amazed that wow, that isn't so bad.
No, and you haven't aged a day.
Yeah, sure. I got a little portrait in my other room, and I just.
What is every actor brings something different to the show. We talked with Saul Rubinek a few weeks ago.
Saul. Yes, Saul.
He's just brilliant. And I mean, he took it in stride, and he took the compliment when I said to him, it sounds like you're making the dialogue up as you go along. And he's like, well, that's what we're supposed to do, and that wasn't what I was trying to get at. What I was trying to get at is he adds that kind of flavor to it. And with your character, I don't know where and I'd like to discuss like where the personality for this character comes from, the bubbliness of this character, despite his conditions, despite the living environment that he had. But I mean, just every moment for him was kind of like, What was it like building this character? Who did you see Harlan as being for you?
I don't know. In some ways, Harlan is like, well, I mean, how old is he? He's 11,000 years old.
11,000.
But it's like a single parent, like parents who have one kid, right? And you grow up playing a lot alone, And he struck me as that kind of character too. That kind of alone kind of character. But yet was so intelligent with all this stuff and everything, and that seemed to be the key to it, to me anyway. And it just they played along with it, and it was a lot of fun. I never knew before you see where he was going to go or what he was going to see, how he was going to react. Little things like this, I never figured it out. Thank God for Comtrya. That's what I say.
It was always someplace to go back to.
Right. In the midst of something, what should I do? Comtrya.
The second appearance. First of all, did you expect it to be called back a few years later for the same role?
Oh no! And I think finished doing a movie called Double Jeopardy.
Oh, that's right.
No. Yeah, and it was strange. It was strange, but it's like putting on those old boots, putting on that old pair of jeans. They still fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love. I'm going to give you a secret. I had never seen the show until you said do some little research here. Maybe you should take a look at this stuff. And the first time I saw Double Jeopardy was
you had not seen it before.
2 nights ago, I saw it.
What did you think?
Well, for one thing, I'm a little verklempt because, you know, like Don was a very good friend, and to see him up on the screen again is just, you know, it was really nice. And that particular show, I think it was Shanks was directing it, right?
Correct. That was his first outing as director.
Fantastic job, because that show was like it was like the 10 Commandments of Stargates. You know, there was just so much stuff going on, so many people and scenes, and that it really was quite an exciting show for me to watch for the first time. That was part of the reason why people watch Stargate all the time. They were always given more, you know. It wasn't the kind of, you know, it wasn't like Lost in Space and the little things you were hoping everything would stick together, you know, glued to the robot or whatever, you know. It was done. It was like getting a fantastic meal all the time. And they always tried to push it and go further. And Double Jeopardy was like that, you know. And I just love it, too. At the end of scenes, you almost feel like it's not over, right? It's just it's talking about something. And having all those scenes with them playing dramatic scenes with each other. It was a bit, you know, it was as funny as we did with Tin Man, but it really worked really well. And it was a really challenge for them, I'm sure, and a challenge for us as watching it. And it was fantastic. I mean, all those death scenes. I mean, in a way, it was like you saw all the...
Yeah, we knocked all of them off.
Knocked all of them off. You know, and it was very, very moving, very sad. You know,
there is a in so many of these episodes they
did a wonderful job with that particular. They always did a wonderful job. You know, and it was a great thing. Everybody you talked to wanted to work on it. It was fantastic.
Absolutely. I apologize for the delay. There is something to be said about these episodes, like Double Jeopardy and like Tin Man, that deliberately go in to subvert your expectations in terms of what it is you're watching. And in both instances, for the majority of the setup of those episodes, and for Tin Man more than Double Jeopardy, we think we're watching our team and we're not. You know, and I love when Stargate doesn't pull cheap shots like a lot of material does out there, gimmicky shots, but actually makes you go, wow, I didn't expect that coming. And that's one of the things that I think the show did so well and was one of the things that keeps us engaged as audiences, is that it almost cues us to expect the unexpected, you know, and I think that's a lot of what good sci-fi and good drama does.
Oh, well, you know, but because every week you were going to a new place, someplace different. You never knew what the heck was going on. As, you know, in a sense, it was like, to me, it was like Star Trek in this sense, which started to do it with him looking through, you know, and we never know where it was going to go. We never know if it's going to be funny or why. It was quite exciting, you know. It's what TV should have been. It was very intelligent, very intelligent. Those guys were very small. The writing was great. And the producers were really, it was so tight that, you know.
Thanks for watching this clip from Dial the Gate. You can find the full live stream shows on our YouTube channel or visit dialthegate.com for the complete schedule. See you on the other side.